Ideal Nursing Academy. Ignited, dynamic, enjoyable academy for learning. Welcome to Achievers Academy.
Okay, hi, I'm Bemina, tuned in today to discuss about introductory part about the subject mental health nursing. So before going into the depth of the particular subject, let us know certain basics in this particular subject that is called mental health nursing. Okay, so as we tell, we are all beautiful people, isn't it? The most beautiful people are who? Can we tell? The persons who have known beautiful are those who are known for their defeat, known for their sufferings, known for struggle, known for losses, and have found their way out of the depth. And they are also the persons who have an appreciation, a sensitivity, and an understanding of life that fills them with compassion, of life that fills them with gentleness and a deep loving concern. So beautiful people don't just happen in life. They have to come across various processes in their life. Especially physically, they have to come across certain aspects to make themselves fit. Mentally, they are going through so many processes like mentally, their emotional feelings. They come across various people talking about them. They come across various people encouraging them. They come across various people putting them down. They come across various people hurting them. So these are the different levels where they come across. At least one or the other negative aspects will happen in their life, and at the same time one or the other positive aspects also will take place in life. It is man who is taking up the challenge and upcoming in their life, facing all the challenges that has been affecting their life. That is what a beautiful man is said to be. So if you want to be beautiful, what you have to do? You have to be mentally healthy. So this mental health concept is what we are going to discuss in this particular session. So as we come across many situations in our life to face the challenges, so when you feel you can't achieve, follow your dreams. Don't let it go. This you must believe. I am stronger than I know. I am stronger than I know. When you think you have lost your way, when the tunnel light is dark to see, say this every day. I am proud of being me. I am proud of being me. When you are down and feeling blue, when you feel you can't go, these words will get you through. I promise to never lose hope. Not only hope, there are three main components for a man to be healthy. Is a man not to be healthy as well as mentally healthy is you need three aspects. That is hope, your strength, your belief. When these three components are intact with you, then you can achieve everything that you desire. This is what I would like to tell you before getting into that particular subject called as mental health nursing. Now, mental health nursing. So this mental health nursing, let us divide the mental health nursing into three aspects, okay? Mental, health and nursing. There are three different concepts. Mental is entirely different, health is entirely different, and nursing is also a different component. So what do you mean by mental? So many times, someone calls us mental, okay, when they will call when we are irritating them or frustrated, causing some frustration to them, or when we are disturbing them just to have fun, isn't it? Sometimes it happens between brothers and sisters, sometimes it happens between husband and wife, sometimes it happens with any other relationship, maybe friends, maybe your colleagues, maybe your neighbors, okay, when we are doing some disturbances, maybe to have fun, or maybe really we want to disturb them. That time some people we have heard calling us mental, is it not? Due to anger. Hey, go mental, they tell, is it not? So when someone calls us mental, what we feel? We get annoyed, isn't it? We get angry. Why they are calling me mental? I'm not mental, isn't it? Because why we get angry is because we think mental means it is something related to us. So I completely advise you not to think as abnormal. Mental is nothing but which is related to you. It's a simple aspect, that is your mind. That's it. How a physical is related to your body, likewise mental is related to your mind. Okay, it is just as the as to do with your intellect, the mind or the brain. That's it. It's a simple component. Okay, so no need to get annoyed if someone is calling us mental, right? Okay, next let us see what is the component called as health. Okay, so health is a complete, 3 domains are there. It is a complete state of physical, mental and social well-being, not merely the absence of disease or infirmity, isn't it? So if a man is having only if he is having disease, he is unhealthy, we think, is it not? Nothing like that. A man should be fit physically, mentally as well as socially. Only when he is showing his well-being in all these 3 domains, we call that person as a healthy person. So this is the definition of health. What is nursing? So nursing means what comes to our mind? Caring, isn't it? It's exactly the same thing. It encompasses what kind of care means autonomous and collaborative care. So nurses always work independently, that is called as autonomous, and it is collaborative. We get along with various team members in the healthcare system, and along with them we collaborate to focus care towards the patient. So maybe whether they are sick, whether they are well, or whether they are from different communities, family, age groups, various individuals we are coming across, and we don't show any kind of discrimination. Our focus is to take care of the patient. That is what our nursing says. The main objectives of nursing is nothing but to promote the health, prevent the diseases and care the ill. Not only the ill person, but also a disabled and dying people. This is what the definition of nursing says. So when I am explaining about you can understand what is the various difference that is there between these 3 components, that is mental, health and nursing. Put together, it is come under a subject called as mental health nursing, also called as psychiatric nursing. Now you understood what is mental health nursing, isn't it? Now when I told it is mental is nothing but related to mind, now you should understand what is mind. Okay, so what do you understand by mind? Mind is nothing but an amazing tool. Okay, everyone, we are thinking, we are doing so many innovative things, we are trying to discover so many things, we are trying to explore, we have so many emotions coming up. Suddenly we become sad, suddenly we become happy, suddenly we become very collaborative, we try to adapt with certain difficulties. How is all this happening? It's not the brain that is working out. The mind which is there in the brain is making it to happen. Understood? So what is this mind? The mind is defined as it is a human or an other conscious being. Okay, it is a human. A human is able to think, is able to judge, is able to perceive, he is able to have negative feelings, he is able to have positive feelings. All that is happening in a human, a conscious being. Okay, at the element, or we can call it as a part or a substance or a process that reasons. Okay, so it is a process. The mind is a process or a substance which is giving us the reasons. Okay, reasons. It is thinking, it is feeling, wills, our perceptions and our judgments. All this is taking place where? It is taking place in our mind. That is the in-depth ultimate meaning of your mind. So under the conscious part of our mind, you have an unconscious neurological network. See, very interesting. When you study, especially psychology, it's a very interesting subject where there are many amazing things happening in our body. That is in our body, that is in our brain. So it is our, you should make yourself very interesting to explore what is that psychological part of your body. Understood? So I will make that interesting. Just you have to tune in till the end to understand the introductory part. Okay. I will not bore you, I assure you. Okay. So under the conscious part of your mind, you have an unconscious network of connections that around 95% of the time is dictating the way you think. See, in conscious level we are doing something, but which is controlled by an unconscious network. This unconscious network is dictating you something, and with that dictation you are trying to do something. Understood? So like that is why we call mind is an amazing tool. Okay, the unconscious thing is motivating the conscious aspect 95% of the time in our life. Which is dictating is your unconscious mind, is dictating for you to think. Your emotion, your emotional responses to the people and the situations, your behaviors, everything is nothing but the hardwired into the brain. This network is present in the unconscious part of your mind. This is the meaning of your mind. You understood about the meaning and the ultimate definition of the mind. Now let's see what are the functions of mind. How is the mind functioning? The mind is functioning in mainly three main areas. Okay, remember, that is thinking, feeling and wanting. Very simple. Mental health nursing is very simple. Don't get tensed or worried that how I'm going to finish the subject. I'll make it easy for you all. Just concentrate in what I'm talking to you. Okay. So it is having how many functions I told? There are main three functions. That is thinking, feeling and wanting. Okay. So what is happening in thinking? Thinking is nothing but making the sense of world. Is it not? We think to create our own world. Every individual has their own world. Okay. So some people live in that world. Some people try to explore the world into their universe also. So thinking is very higher. It's a higher level of functions of our brain. Okay. So the first component is your thinking. So like what happens in thinking? We make our sense of world. We do judgments, we perceive certain things, we try to analyze what is right and wrong, especially even in doing some calculations. Okay, we need thinking. Without thinking, you cannot do any kind of analysis. Okay, then you need to clarify. Clarification is done. Okay, then determination. You have focus in your life to get achieve success, isn't it? So for that purpose, what you have to have? You should have determination. So this function is taking place in the mind. In which component? It is taking place in the thinking. Okay. Then comparing also. We compare with many people, is it not? We compare with things, we compare with people, we compare with our friends, we compare with our brothers and sisters, we compare ourselves with various family people, is it not? So all this comparison is also taking place in the component called as thinking. Okay. Now let's go to the next functions, that is feelings. Every man on this earth is living with their emotions and feelings, isn't it? Sometimes we are happy, that is our feeling, happiness, sadness, depressed when someone hurts us, or when we lose someone whom we love, we get depressed, isn't it? So depressed, stressed, when our workload is becoming more and more, what happens to us? Our stress level also is keeping on increasing. We get into an aspect called as stress. Stress is also a kind of a feeling. Then calm, when you're silent, that is also kind of a feeling. See, simply a man won't be silent, isn't it? There will be a great reason, a genuine reason for a man to be silent. So when any person becomes very calm, it is our due responsibility to find out what is the reason for him to be so silent. Understood? That is a very conscious part of our living. Then some people will be worried, some people will be excited. So these are all the functions of our mind, which comes under the component called as feeling. Okay, so next is our wanting. Okay, we all have wants. Wants are nothing but our desires. So what are those wants? Wants are our goals, isn't it? We have some goals we try to achieve, that is our need. We have some purpose to fulfill our needs. We have our desires, interest, requirement. Okay, we have our agenda. You plan something, isn't it? You jot down something so that I have to do these particular activities today. So these are our wants, needs, isn't it? So that agendas, some people will have their values. We have our values. We have our motives, isn't it? Motives. Without motives, we cannot make our purposes or goals, correct? So if you want to, suppose for example, if I wanted to get into nursing profession, so what was my need, what was my wanting there? To become a nurse. So to become a nurse, I have some motives in my life, isn't it? I took science subject, I motivated myself to take the science subject, I studied the subject, then scored marks, then entered into the nursing, isn't it? Like that. We need some motives also in our life. So all these aspects comes under the concept called as wanting. Okay, so these are the main functions of mind. So always remember, there are three components in the functions of mind. Okay, that is thinking, your emotions or feelings, and your wants or desires. These are the main functions which the mind is playing. Okay, you understood about the functions of mind. Next, what you should know, the basics of your mental health nursing is, you should know the neurotransmitters. I told there is an unconscious network, right? In that network, what is actually happening? There is an interesting thing which is happening in our mind. Okay, that is called as your neurotransmitters. So let's see what are the neurotransmitters of our mind. Okay, so every man, we have a happiness concept, isn't it? Every man wants to be happy, isn't it? So what is that thing which is happening behind the happiness? How is this happiness coming to the man? So there is a concept with the neurotransmitters. This is all happening because of the neurotransmitters. So what are the neurotransmitters that you have to know in mental health nursing is dopamine, okay, endorphins, GABA, serotonin, glutamate. These are the neurotransmitters which plays a vital role in mental health nursing. So what is this dopamine? Dopamine is a pleasure chemical. Remember, okay, it is a pleasure chemical. So if a man is having some pleasure, means you should understand that what neurotransmitter is working out there. It is the dopamine. Okay. Then endorphins are the euphoric chemical. Okay, euphoric. If a person is very much elated in a euphoric mind, in that kind of elation if is there, what is the chemical neurotransmitters which is taking place? That is the endorphins. Okay. Then GABA, it is nothing, GABA. Okay. So GABA is gamma aminobutyric acid. Okay. So what is this chemical called as? It is a calm chemical. Okay, if you are becoming calm, understand what is the neurotransmitters that is working in yourself. That is the GABA. Okay, it is called as a calm chemical. Okay, next one is called as the glutamate. Glutamate is a memory chemical. Okay, if you are able to remember various things, you are able to recall various aspects which took place in the past. Okay, very old memories also you are able to recall is because of which kind of neurotransmitters? It is the glutamate. Glutamate is helping us to function in our memory aspects. Maybe the remote or recent memories will be made to activate by the neurotransmitter called as the glutamate. Okay. Next, last one that you have to know in mental health, there are various neurotransmitters also, but in mental health aspects, these neurotransmitters you have to have knowledge. Okay, next one is the serotonin. Serotonin is the happiness chemical. So a man is happy, he is feeling happy, means you understand what is working in him, which kind of neurotransmitters is working out in the unconscious network part, that is the serotonin. So when your serotonin level is increased, your happiness is also going to increase. So this is the basic concept of neurotransmitters that you have to know. Understood? So how many components are there? Let's once again revise. That is the dopamine, endorphins, GABA, then your glutamate and serotonin. Okay, dopamine is a pleasure chemical. Okay, then endorphins is a euphoric chemical, euphoria chemical we can call. Okay, GABA, GABA means what? Gamma aminobutyric acid. So what kind of chemical it is? It is a calming chemical. Serotonin is a happiness chemical. Glutamate is a memory chemical. I hope you are understanding. Okay, I'll make it easy. Just you have to concentrate on what I'm telling. Okay, so this is all about your neurotransmitters that you plays a vital role in the mental health nursing. Let's see the other various hormones and the neurotransmitters which is also influencing our mental health. The chemistry of the hormones with the mental health nursing. Oh, negative thoughts you knock again and again. It's nice, no? Interesting. It's a small quote that I would like to tell you. Oh, negative thoughts you knock again and again, but now you know my heart is only for the love, for receiving and sharing the love. My mind has defeated the most painful obstacle because it's full of optimism. Okay, optimism and pessimism cannot stay together. One has to lead the mind. So let's leave what? Optimism or the pessimism? Let's be optimistic. Okay, so keep your optimistic mind in the concept of our subject. Okay, let's enter into the subject. So we were discussing about this optimism and pessimism, isn't it? So in life always we have to be optimistic, but sometimes it is very difficult to be optimistic. So it happens, lives are ups, there we will be facing lot of ups and downs. Okay, but try to be optimistic. Okay, so to be successful we have to be optimistic. Okay, now come into the subject. Okay, emotions and chemistry of hormones. Okay, how I told there are 5 essential neurotransmitters which plays a vital role in our mental health nursing. There are various other hormones also which is influencing the mental health nursing. So what are those hormones? That is, as I've already told you all, dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, oxytocin, noradrenaline, adrenaline, estradiol, okay, then testosterone, phenylethylamine, okay, phenylethylamine, then melatonin, vasopressin, progesterone, okay, prolactin, acetylcholine, then thyroxine. Okay, these are the various hormones and or the neurotransmitters which influence the mental health nursing. Not in every aspects of our emotions, but in each emotions, a few neurotransmitters are having some deviations. Understood? So let's see what happens in various components. Okay, like for example, take mania. Okay, it is a kind of a mental illness. Okay, so mania, what happens is the dopamine level, when the dopamine level is increased, when it is too much, when it increases above the normal, man will suffer from mania. Okay, so what is this dopamine? I already explained you. Dopamine is a pleasure hormone. So when a man goes to his pleasure more than his requirement in his life, that time what happens? Imbalance takes place in that dopamine chemical. That is why man suffers from mania. Okay, then anxiety, what happens? Just as we saw in mania, the increase in the dopamine level, here the dopamine level completely drops. When the dopamine level completely drops, man suffers from anxiety. Okay. Okay, then what happens in happiness? In happiness, you can see the serotonin level. Happiness hormone is the serotonin, isn't it? Serotonin neurotransmitter is the happiness chemical. So likewise, the serotonin is increased. Along with that, the oxytocin also is increased. Okay, so when the oxytocin and the serotonin level is in balance, then a man will feel happy. Okay, so let's see the scientists, what is happening in the scientists. They have the curiosity to find out certain things, isn't it? So every man cannot be a scientist, but there are people, every man has a curiosity, but the curiosity is continued in the scientist, whereas in a normal man that curiosity is not continued. So this curiosity is coming how? When this serotonin level is increased, along with the serotonin level, phenylethylamine, okay, hormone, when the phenylethylamine along with that the serotonin level is balancing together, when it is increased, what happens? A man feels curious to know certain thing. Understood? Then why a man gets anger? It's only completely because of only one hormone, that is called as the non-adrenaline. Understood? When the non-adrenaline level goes higher in your mind, what happens? You will get angry. So getting angry is not a good sign. So we have to, but every man gets angry, but we should not give the hormone to play its vital role to expose ourselves towards the anger. When we get anger, we try to calm down. So what should come there? When anger is there, your non-adrenaline is increased, is it not? So you have to balance this, means what you should increase there? You have to either increase the oxytocin or try to increase the this one, what is that? Serotonin level, okay? So that will try to balance this particular anger. Okay, so if you are getting angry, you understand your non-adrenaline hormone or the neurotransmitter is playing a vital role in your body. Okay, now excited, sometimes we get excited, isn't not? When we get a new good news, we become excited. So what is the neurotransmitter playing an important role there? Which neurotransmitter? That is the adrenaline part. For anger, non-adrenaline is playing a vital role. For excitement, your adrenaline is playing a vital role, as well as the phenylethylamine is playing a vital role. When this two is increased, okay, then what happens? Excitement occurs in the individual. Okay, so when a man goes through stress process, okay, stress, when he is undergoing stress, there are four things happen, four neurotransmitters playing a vital role when you are going under stress. That is, when your non-adrenaline is increased, okay, along with the non-adrenaline, your adrenaline is also increased together, your dopamine level is dropping, and what happens is your prolactin is also increased, okay, to the higher level. Adrenaline and non-adrenaline is increased, dopamine goes down, and as well as the prolactin is slightly increased. So this four chemicals is necessary to act to become stressful. Understood? Depression, same like how stress we are getting through, depression also is playing under the four neurotransmitters. Okay, so what and all goes down for a man to be depressed? Dopamine level is going down, your serotonin goes down, your adrenaline goes down, but what is increasing here? Melatonin is increased. That's why when a man is depressed, you see, if you want, you can note in your house also, when anyone is very depressed, no, you see their face. Even you, when you would have, someone would have hurted you, or you're going 2 or 3 days or 4 days, you're becoming very depressed, you're very sad, on your face we can see, they tell, no, we can see that person's face, you're very dull, we are telling, is it not? So how is that happening is, you can see a mask like texture on the face. Okay, the color of the skin would have been normally the dark people, it is not that they are becoming dark. Okay, normally the dark people, we will what to say, I can tell, like, see, if they are dark, okay, but when they become depressed, dark or fair, okay, I'm not talking about the complexion here. Okay, in what happens in depression is, when the melatonin level is increasing here, when melatonin is increasing, that is, melatonin is a dark pigment, isn't it? So that makes the face very dark. Okay, you can see, if you can note in your maybe your colleagues or your own loved ones, if they are having depression, no, how you can note, they'll be very sad. At the same time, they are, whether the depression is gone to the peak, how you will know is the face will look very dark. Understood? By that we can understand that the person is under depression. It has gone to a peak. Not one day someone hurted you, you are very sad. No, you'll know the melatonin will not increase to the peak. When it reaches to the peak, then you can see that black color mask which is there on the face. Okay, so that is about the depression. How many chemicals are acting here? Your dopamine goes down, your serotonin level goes down, adrenaline is going down, and what is increasing? Melatonin is increasing. It's suppressing all the pleasure hormones, happiness hormones, and that is coming into existence. That is the melatonin. Okay, likewise there is another problem called as autism. Okay, autism level, autism occurs when the oxytocin imbalance takes place. Okay, like that fear. Why we get fear? When the adrenaline component goes higher, suppressing the dopamine level as well as the oxytocin level, what happens? You get fear. Seeing suddenly when we have exams, suddenly they are announcing that today is the exam and you have no time for preparation. What we get fear, is it not? We get shivering, we feel very sometimes anxiety, fear. Okay, tense, we are becoming very tensed, and fear is there. So this fear, when it occurs, is when the adrenaline component goes higher, suppressing your dopamine level as well as the oxytocin. The man suffers from fear. Okay, apathy, like how we saw in depression, the melatonin is becoming increased, the same like that. Apathy also, that is loneliness. A man is, when he wants to be lonely, when he is sad or depressed, is it not? So here also the melatonin is increased, adrenaline goes down, as well as the vasopressin is also down here. That time a person feels apathy, don't want to mingle with any other person. Okay, he don't enjoy the group. Now euphoric, when a person becomes very elated and euphoric thoughts he will have is when the endorphins level is increased. When the endorphins are increased, what happens? He will feel euphoric. Understood? So then what happens to the revelation? Revelation, a drastic change in the life of an individual. We can see to happen, what all should increase means your phenyl ethyl amine should increase, dopamine should increase, as well as the component called as your vasopressin. Understood? When all these three components are increasing, not and all, your sorry, I have told something wrong over there. For a drastic change in individual's life, we have to see is the three components, that is the phenyl ethylamine, dopamine, as well as the acetylcholine. Okay, so when that kind of a change, when you observe in any individual, when these three components are increased, you can see the revelation in that particular individual. Okay, why a man becomes very sad? Sadness because of his drop in the thyroxine level. When the thyroxine level drops, we go into sadness. Okay, then irritation. Sometimes if anyone is doing something which we don't like, we get irritated, is it not? So for this irritation, what is the cause? What are the neurotransmitters playing a vital role here? Means it is nothing but the thyroxine, as well as when thyroxine is increased and testosterone level is decreased. When testosterone is decreased, we get irritated very quickly. But what should be increased? Thyroxine also should be increased. So this is the chemistry of hormones which is influencing our mental health. Hope you understood. Many people would have not known why we are getting irritated, why we are sad, why we want to go into depression. So what is mainly making this? It's not we, it's not our personality, it is the chemical imbalance that is taking place in our mind, and that is the reason we become the victim of these particular illness. Understood? So let's understand the chemistry and try to balance our life, to balance these particular chemicals. Okay, so later I will tell you how to overcome these particular illness or these particular emotional feelings that is occurring in our body. Okay, I hope you understood. Now let us see what is mental health illness continuum. Okay, continuum. So it is that nothing but there is some balance in our life, is it not? Every man is trying to adopt to the particular environment wherever he is put forth. How is he balancing? He have to follow the certain continuum in his life. That is, he is trying to balance his life. You think this hand, one hand is mental health, okay, my right hand is the mental illness and my left hand shows the mental health. Okay, so I'm maintaining it. When this goes up and down, when this is going to go up and down, another component called as your stress. When stress occurs, okay, when stress occurs, if a man tries to cope with the things, he will go into the left hand side, that is the mental health. If he is not able to cope with his stress, he gets into the mental illness, that is the right hand side. You understanding that balance is getting deviated because of the component called as stress. So always remember, we have to go through stress, but try to cope with that particular stress to be mentally healthy. Understood? Okay, so that is called as your mental health illness continuum. Okay, so how you can overcome the stress? When stress occurs, you try to adapt to that particular situation. Okay, you try to understand the reality, your positive self-concept you should have, and emotional stability should be there. That shows that you are coping with the stress. When you undergo these three components, that is reality oriented, positive self-concept, then emotional stability, when you show you are mentally healthy. Got it? When you will get into mental illness, when the stress is high, when you are not able to adapt, that is maladaptive behavior, when you show, you enter into psychosis. You try to deny reality. You don't believe in yourself. Then getting into the positive, that is optimistic aspect, you get into the pessimistic component. That time what happens? Your continuum becomes deviated. Understood? So this is the main concept behind the mental health illness continuum. Hope you understood. I'm making it interesting. Okay, if you all like, please subscribe our channel and ring that particular bell, which will motivate a session with a very beautiful concepts. Okay, bye.